Hey guys, been with Red Dirt Chili's. I'm doing the Choco Jamise today. The Jamise was like originally a peach. Looks kind of like a ghost. And this is the chocolate version. The plants have been really healthy. I just stepped on a sticker pretty aggressively. No, it's a stick. It will not come out. Good lord. Good God. Anyway, here's the plant. They're very healthy. I'd say, that's a Jamise over there as well. I have another one, a couple in my front yard. Like, they're one of my better growers this year. As far as the actual plant goes, really good stuff. Whoo-wee. Sorry, it's a terrible video, but it's raining and I have a ton of health problems, as many of y'all will know. I'm in a crash right now, so I really can't be eating like much pepper super hots at all, chili super hots, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna be doing a little bit, see about the heat, the flavor. I'm making a sauce today too. So yeah, if you cut it open, looks like a chocolate ghost. Has that kind of green in the innards and then the chocolate outside. This isn't actually like completely ripe. I can't tell from the smell. It's earthy. But I needed a super hot for my sauce I'm making. I just did a little bite, sorry. Just can't, my health is way too bad to do a full pod right now. Pretty earthy, honestly. Maybe I need to let these ripen more. Might have to do a second impression. Hopefully my health will be better. And okay, so earthy tones. Throat burn. It's a strange pod. Not what I was expecting. I haven't had a chocolate ghost in so long though. The heat. So I earlier this year I've had only had one pod, chunk of a pod, called Iowa Twister. Looks similar to this, chocolate, green innards. The Iowa Twister is significantly hotter than this. I put this in the low millions, definitely clearing a million. Definitely low millions, so like 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, maybe not even 1, 3. Like I said, it's not completely ripe. It's pretty cool. Like you can see, like this part, it's like slightly more chocolate, dark, and I mean not much, but you can I don't know. Maybe if my camera wasn't so crappy, but yeah, I mean like classic chocolate ghost, green innards. Really just an earthy, cooler, super hot, still clears a million fairly easily, but definitely low millions. Earthy, and the actual burn is like starry, brighty, which I was expecting more of like I don't know what I was expecting, but not like it's actually a decently complex burn. I would say, yeah, it's like a kind of a flashlight, like a 1940s, maybe take a flashbulb burn. You hear that like crinkling. That's what I would kind of describe it as. Not really a throat burn. Definitely some back of the tongue more, and I would say more middle of the tongue, actually. I mean, if you ate the whole pod, I'm certain it would change. I would say, back of the throat's definitely in play if you eat the whole thing, but like I said, my health right now is like critically horrible. So I just can't risk it. I can barely even eat like this much, which is really sad. I've grown like literally like 100 plants, and I'm having to do sauces, which I have to do sauces anyway. But as far as the endorphin profile though, not as good actually. I would put that as kind of like a middle of the road, like a C, like a 65. My brain, I have a neurological disease that affects my neurochemistry and pleasure chemicals, like it's a physical disease, but it's very complex, and I can't feel pleasure often. In fact, I very rarely feel a sense of well-being, which is the reason why I started growing super hots. But that was when my health was better. My health is significantly worse now. So regardless, as far as the endorphin profile, I mean, I didn't eat a ton, so it's like, I don't know, commenting on that would be kind of tough, but I would say just middle of the road. I mean, not bad. Like sometimes you eat super hots and you can just tell they don't have the juice mentally. This is like pretty straightforward. It reminds me of a chocolate ghost. I haven't had chocolate ghost in so long that it's hard for me to compare, but I am starting to get like a little more talkative, and my tongue is starting to burn, a little still. But yeah, my initial thoughts are, I'd say a C for the endorphin profile, B- for the burn, more complex than average. Not like super interesting like the chocolate reaper, but like maybe even a B, in between a B and a B-, like definitely different than I was expecting. Like it's got some juice, the burn. Like the burn is interesting. And I guess I've never had one like this before, so maybe a solid B then, because I've had a decent number of super hots, and I've come across a lot of burns, and this one it's interesting. It's like I described it. It's like a 40s camera, like when pressed and they click, and then the bulb flashes and then burns out, and they take it out and throw the bulb away. That's what it reminds me of. It's very flashy, but not like starry, like kind of like minorly starry flashy, and then kind of singes and then kind of comes back. Oops, sorry. So like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not like the best person maybe to describe these things, but like, I would say that the burn is the conceptual framework of the burn is probably its strongest feature. Being in the low millions though, I think would probably be a plus for a lot of people. So maybe a C plus. I mean, it's not necessarily bad. Maybe I'll just leave it as a C, because it's not necessarily bad or good that it's got a lower Scoville. But it is a little lower. I mean, maybe 1.4, but like I would definitely say one lower ones. And then the plant gets an A-. All of my plants, one of my best growers this year. So I would give that name. I mean, it's just a great grower. I have some out here that I harvested from. All of my plants are solid. Even the ones that aren't even that big are like producing, pretty decent pods. So that gets an A-. Maybe even a B+ though. I'd have to give it like probably a B+, because I'd have to give it a little bit of a tick, because this is not my preferred shape, but that's an individual thing. I mean, the classic ghost chili look is not what I'm looking for. I mean, I probably have said this before if you've seen some of my videos, that I'm really looking for the bulbous Caribbean look. I want basically uniformity in that regard, because I love the bulbous, scorpion look. I think like, more like this with a little bit of a tail, or even a long tail, but more of like an inner tail is my preferred look. I like a big, not that big, but this is obviously like the Indian look from India. The kind of like long chili, ghost chili look. I would put the pod's look as the B-, C+, probably C+. Like it's not super, I mean, It certainly doesn't look bad. Maybe I would put it at a B minus. It certainly doesn't look bad. It has a good color. It looks like it ripened slightly more, and it has oil, which is good. Maybe a B plus then, or B minus then, yeah. But, and you know, pretty wrinkly, but you know, like I said, it's just this type of pod is really gonna have to blow me away for me to want to keep growing it, and I still might because the plants are so healthy, you know. But the pod shape, for some reason, this year is like really annoying me. Like so many of the pods I've grown this year have been off-brand, I guess you could say. Like they're just not the correct pheno or whatever. So yeah, I don't like that. I want my pods to look a certain way, and this is not that look. But if this is your look, though, I mean, you know, that's your prerogative. So I would definitely give this a C plus, just because it's not what I want. Like I have a chocolate Bismarck out there that looks kind of similar to this, but like way more bumpy. I want my skin to be bumpier than this too. Like I love bumpier skin, which is going to indicate more heat, you know. So, but I think the look of a bumpier skin, this is, I would say, medium bump. So anyway, I guess that's about everything. I've kind of rambled for 11 and a half minutes. This is probably too long. So those are my thoughts on the Choco Jammies. Choco Jammies ghost-like pod. Sorry I couldn't eat more of it, but like I said, my health is just crap right now. I'm getting some meds, so like hopefully I'll be able to. I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, so there's no real treatment, but I am doing some experimental meds, so hopefully those will, by the fall, especially when I get more of a harvest, I might be able to do a second impression so I can eat the whole pod. But right now, my health is just like, I'm in the trenches. Like, it's horrific how horrible it is. It's invisible. You can't tell I'm deeply ill, but I am. So I can't eat as much as I would like, but I can at least give you the impressions of the pod, but they will be somewhat limited because I'm not eating the whole thing, so I can't really, but pretty sure about what I've said so far is pretty close to accurate, if not, 100%, maybe 90, hopefully. Yeah, I've been rambling way too much, but the plant grows like an MFer. If you were gonna grow one super hot, this would be a decent candidate. It's like lower millions, everything I've said, but it grows well. At least the ones the genetics I have, which is a problem, about our community. But if you wanted some, I can give you some. But yeah, these would be a candidate, I would say, for a singular super hot garden edition, because lower heat, earthy, so you've got to want to do that, but very aggressive growing plants. So this video's gone on way too long. Been with Red Dirt Chili. Thank you guys for watching. I would say overall, I would give the plant a B minus. For everything I said, earthy is not the greatest flavor. It's a little sweet too, I guess. Really sweeter undertones, like lower. And everything I said, I'd probably put it as a B minus, because the plant does carry it. I would say that the strongest aspect is the plant's a very strong plant. So anyway, take that. Hopefully, if you're considering the Choco Jammies, those are my thoughts on the plant. And you guys have a good rest of the 4th weekend. Bye, guys.